Welcome to Tales by Tyrell, where stories come to life with lessons to learn. Today, we bring you the tale of Macbeth, a story of ambition, fate, and the price of power. Scotland was a land of warriors and kings. Among them was Macbeth, a brave soldier who had just won a great battle. He had fought fiercely for King Duncan and proved his loyalty, but this victory would change his life forever. As Macbeth and his friend Banquo travelled home, they came across three mysterious women standing in the mist. Their voices were eerie as they spoke. "Hail Macbeth, Thane of Glamis! Hail Macbeth, Thane of Cawdor! Hail Macbeth, the future king!" Macbeth was confused. He was already the Thane of Glamis, a noble title he had inherited. But the witches also called him Thane of Cawdor, a title that belonged to another man. And even stranger, they called him king. Macbeth laughed at their words. How could he become king? But soon after, a messenger arrived with shocking news. The king had rewarded Macbeth with the title of Thane of Cawdor because the previous one had betrayed Scotland. The witch's words were already coming true. And if one part of the prophecy was right, could the rest be true too? Macbeth shared the prophecy with his wife, Lady Macbeth, but she didn't want to wait for fate. She convinced Macbeth that if he wanted to be king, he had to take the crown himself. That night, King Duncan was coming to stay at their castle. It was the perfect chance. At first, Macbeth was unsure. He respected the king and feared the consequences. But Lady Macbeth pushed him. She told him he was too weak, too afraid. If he wanted power, he had to act now. Late that night, while the castle slept, Macbeth sneaked into the king's room. A strange vision appeared before him, a floating dagger covered in blood. Was it real, or just his imagination? Shaking off his fear, he stabbed the king. The deed was done. Lady Macbeth helped him cover up the crime, smearing blood on the guards to make it look like they had killed the king. At sunrise, the castle was in chaos. King Duncan was dead. Macbeth blamed the guards, and no one suspected the truth. Duncan's two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, feared for their lives. They suspected that whoever had killed their father would come for them next. So they fled Scotland, Malcolm to England, and Donalbain to Ireland. With the princes gone, there was no one to take the throne, and so Macbeth was crowned King of Scotland. But now that Macbeth had power, he was afraid to lose it. He remembered that the witches had said Banquo's children would be kings in the future. If that was true, then Macbeth's rule would be meaningless. Macbeth couldn't let that happen. He sent assassins to kill Banquo and his son, Fleance. Banquo was murdered, but Fleance escaped into the night. That evening, at a grand feast, Macbeth sat at the table. But then he froze in fear. Across the room, he saw Banquo's ghost, pale, covered in blood, staring at him. No one else could see it, but Macbeth's panic made the guests uneasy. Whispers spread. Had their king gone mad? While Macbeth ruled with fear and violence, Lady Macbeth began to fall apart. She couldn't escape the guilt. Every night she wandered the castle, rubbing her hands as if trying to clean them. She whispered, "Out, damned spot!" But no amount of washing could remove the invisible blood. Her once strong mind broke. Desperate, Macbeth went back to the witches. This time, their words confused him even more. They warned him about Macduff, a nobleman of Scotland who had always been loyal to King Duncan. Unlike the other lords, Macduff never trusted Macbeth. After Duncan's death, he had fled to England to join Prince Malcolm, Duncan's son, and was gathering an army to overthrow Macbeth. The witches told Macbeth to beware of Macduff, but then they gave him two strange promises. Number one, No man born of a woman can harm him. Number 2. He will be safe until Birnam Wood moves to his castle. Macbeth felt powerful. All men are born of women. And how could a forest move? He believed he was unstoppable. But fate had other plans. Macduff and his army prepared to attack Macbeth's castle. To hide their numbers, they cut branches from Birnam Wood and used them as camouflage. From a distance, it looked as if the forest was moving. Macbeth finally realized the prophecy was coming true. On the battlefield, Macbeth fought like a cornered beast. But when he faced Macduff, the final truth was revealed. Macduff had not been born the normal way. He had been ripped from his mother's womb, born by surgery. The witches had tricked Macbeth. He was not invincible after all. In their final duel, Macduff killed Macbeth. With Macbeth dead, peace returned to Scotland. Prince Malcolm took the throne, and Macduff was hailed as a hero for restoring order. Macbeth's ambition had led him to power, but also to his destruction. The witch's prophecy had been true all along. But in the end, it wasn't fate that doomed Macbeth. It was his own choices, and so ends the story of Macbeth, a warning that too much ambition can lead to ruin. Macbeth's downfall teaches us blind ambition is like fire. When controlled, it gives light, but when unchecked, it burns everything down. Fate may set the stage, but our choices decide the ending. Thank you for watching Tales by Tyrell. If this story made you think, like, share, and subscribe for more legendary tales. See you in the next one.